Hello, time for an update on my second gen two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive conversion using a Dana 60 front differential and Ford F-250 front leaf springs and Dodge third generation rack and pinion. I've got everything put back together. Unfortunately, my project manager, me, got a little discouraged and got to the point where I quit ordering parts. And so I'm waiting on a couple of parts to come in to finish the front. Only thing I have left is to do the front hoses for the brakes. And if I need to move the brake lines around because of the front hoses, I got to do that still. And I have new rotors on the way. I thought I could use the old rotors. Three sides look great, but the last side I found is really rusty, pitted, so I don't want to use it. So I'm going to give a quick update, show you what I've got done, and getting very close. I'm going to pull it out of the garage today, turn it around, and go ahead and lift the rear with the blocks that I have off of a 95 Ram four-wheel drive, the stock blocks, 4.5-inch blocks, and I've got new U-bolts. And the other parts should be here in the next few days. We'll see. Let's take a look. Say hi, Django. She's not talking today. Okay, now go on, girl. Go on, Django. Let me get by. So, do have the brand new calipers just loosely bolted in place, and these are the old rotors. I've got the shock is bolted in place. You can see the steering shaft universal joint up there. The support bearing is in place. I got these new shackles in place. These are 3/8 shackles, and I added 3 washers on that side and 3 washers on the back side because this needed to be offset over a little bit to the outside of the truck. I didn't quite get this block in the right place. I'm not sure how I did that, but that's what happened there. I got that ground bolt put in. Just little stuff. Got the power steering lines made up. What I did was I bought a set of power steering lines for the Ford, or excuse me, for the third generation Ram, and I just had a shop make a connection here. So they just connected the old pressure line to the new pressure line, and I had them use a standard hydraulic connection so I can unbolt that if I ever need to. The return line is just a couple of hose barbs, and again I had them use a screw together connection. So there's 2 hose barbs there. That went together really easily, actually. I added the longer bolts that I needed for the differential cover. I filled the differential with 80/90. I added grade 8 nuts and washers on my muffler clamps that are bolting the rack mount to the differential. I've got the rack mounts tightened up. Now, I'm going to tell on myself I made a big mistake. Not perfect, you know. So I ended up cutting a notch there. You can see that notch in the cross member I made. When I fabricated that cross member, I did not have the rack and pinion mounted tight. It was hanging down a little bit. So I thought I had more clearance than I had. If I had known that, I would have made the cross member a little bit different. But I ended up notching it out. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But now that gives me plenty of clearance for the steering shaft. I added the bolt going through the so this is the track bar mount, the original, and this is my brace as part of the rack mount. I needed a bolt here. I didn't have a small enough bolt, so I just put 2 nuts on 1 bolt. I'm going to put a smaller bolt on that later. But got the tie rods all the way in and cotter pinned for the first time. Got the lock nuts all put on the front shackle mount. Tightened up the bolts on the front leaf spring mount. So I believe everything under here is done, and it looks really good. A lot of it is kind of funny. A lot of it really looks factory, which of course is what you always want when you're custom making something. Shocks are in place, obviously. And my buddy Joe mounted my tires. Thank you, Joe. And man, they look great on these rims with these hubs, and everything looks so cool. And look how big the space is here. I mean, this is a really cool looking setup. I think I said before in another video, I love this wide opening with the, this is a stock size tire. 215 85/16. It's off the ground now, but that's approximately where it goes. And it's just a really cool, I guess they call it the grandpa look, to have stock size tires, which I'm not a grandpa, but I guess I like grandpa style. And everything it just looks almost factory, and everything looks strong, everything looks stout. Like I said, I'm just about to I just put the fluids in the diff, and I just put the power steering fluid in. Obviously I can't do the brakes yet, but I'm just about to pull it out of the garage, turn it around, and work on the rear end. But I wanted to make a quick video while I had this wheel off for anybody that's interested in doing this. I think it's going to work. Believe me, I had my doubts, and plenty of people have voiced their doubts that this is the best way to go, but now that it's all together, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Now I still need to make a differential breather, but that's no big deal. Just a rubber hose going up into the engine compartment. And there's some funky brake lines stock, so I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to retain. I'm considering just removing the entire ABS controller and just putting a proportioning valve on, but I haven't decided on that yet. For now, I'm going to try to just stick it back together. But that's it for this update. Like I said, it's time for it to come out and start working on the rear end. Maybe I'll start working on the bumper as well. But everything looks good. Everything looks almost factory, and I can't complain. So thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later.